Hey, Remo here. We are having a look at another new mod map that came out that I've had a good look around. I haven't had a lot of chance to actually play through the missions and stuff, but I've really explored with the free cam, and I'm more about the quality of the build when I'm looking at these maps and just the nice little fine touches that are in there on some of these really well built maps. This is basically where you start in the game with a Voron 4380, regular gearbox, tires and stuff, and we're actually going to just kind of do an overhead here on our way over to where you're going to find the garage. Looks like you're going to have to cross a bridge that you're going to have to build at some point, which I'm sure is going to be beneficial to getting stuff done. It seems to be kind of a main hub of a city in here, which is really cool, and we'll get into seeing that a bit more. So I imagine you're going to have to find a pretty tough way around. Gonna let you figure that out. I don't want to give too much away on this map, but I just want to show off all the great details that 13 Deeds is the creator. You look around these buildings and there's a lot of little stuff in, and I really notice the placement of things, making it feel natural. You got the smoke coming out of the chimney there, which is something that was added in the firefighting season, and I've used it in Slip Rock Peaks in the same kind of manner, and it's just neat little touches. There's a bunch of custom models in this map in terms of in the city area. Beautiful little airport here with, like I say, fine little details. It looks lived in, and that's what I really appreciate. Coming into the city here, it's a really interesting look at, first of all, the new models and stuff, the apartment buildings and that, but it's that Russian feel, or at least what you would think of it, which is really different than the way I would build. But what I like, the pipes in the road there are just a fantastic little touch. The logging areas are all built out. The custom models of those vehicles that are in here, only reason I shy away is it just really inflates the size of the mod, but you can see here all the extra little touches of these vehicles that you're not going to see in my maps, and it really helps sell the look and the feel of this place. This is your starting vehicle on your starting road that we're going to head out down to try and find the garage, which is our first mission. It's given to you as you jump into the map. There's a ton of missions we'll get into later on in the video. We'll go through some of them. A huge variety of cargo to haul. It seems very reminiscent of, say, one of my highway hauling regions. From reading through and looking around the map and stuff, it's going to give you a good mix of roads. There's two maps of the region. We'll get to the second one after. And you can see here, this is the bridge that's going to get in our way to go to the garage. So gonna have to find another way across the river. It's a nice touch. I know people are on the fence if you like it or not, but it's always fun to throw at a map like that where you have to work your way over to the garage and kind of get yourself established. Here we're just gonna kind of cruise through the town, and I really like the look of this area. It's not something you would see me build being in North America. It's just not something I kind of think of as an area that I would build, but done a great job. A nice helping of mud. It's not too deep. There is all sorts of depth of mud, so it's not an easy map from what I can tell and what I've driven around on and tested. It's gonna be very challenging. It really should be a good logistical map in terms of the two maps, and it seems like a lot of the stuff is in this main city. This first map is actually pretty sure it's a full 84 by 84 full-size map, whereas the second map looks like it's quite a bit smaller, but I think it's going to play well in the two map region. I've done it a lot, and it seems to work well. You can see here we're into some pretty tough mud, so you're going to find all sorts. Here's a quick look at the second map, which you can see is quite a bit smaller, but I don't know if you've seen the video linked on the mod, but these ferries that you're going to see down in the water are actually movable. I couldn't get on it with my truck, but I think you pull yourself across. I'm not too sure. Download the map and find out. That's my advice. But you can see that these towns and rail hubs and stuff, they're really well built. extra time put in to make them feel lived in and look real natural. There's the ferries I was speaking of. They do move. You can see the one is out in the water. I pushed it with the truck, but I couldn't get on. Another quick look at just a well-built little factory that you drive through and you're going to feel like you're in the spot. And we have an observatory in the background. This second map definitely has a lot more vertical. Doesn't look like quite as much mud, but I think it's going to prove quite a fun challenge. You can see a little bit of off-road mix. There is some oil deliveries. This is just where you enter through the gateway into this second map. And I mean, the road is pretty good. It's not bumpy, and these paved roads are pretty tough to make really a good smooth road. It takes a lot of finessing, I guess I would say, because you can really easily flatten. If you use a flatten tool, it has a tendency to make sharp edges. Like, it doesn't flatten everything, it just flattens a small area, and it can be really challenging, but done a real good job on this road. I don't know, I personally wouldn't mind seeing maybe a few signs and stuff, but maybe that's just my bias of where I live. I guess it's kind of out there a little bit, so not a big deal, but well done. No guardrails, so you're really gonna have to watch where you're driving, and this whole map is like that. Some pretty steep ditches along the roads. There's just a lot of places you can write a truck off, so I think that's pretty fun. And it's kind of the balance when you have paved roads, as they present a different challenge. So right here we're running up to another water hazard like on the first map. When you start, we're gonna have to find a way around or use the ferries, which I never figured out, but it looks like a pretty cool concept, and they're definitely interactive. Now you can see there is a ton of tasks, a ton of missions. There's a good variety of cargo, logs, trailers, a bunch of vehicle rescues. It's just a real good mix. And the creator, I'm sure is Russian, is worked with somebody, and they've done a pretty good job translating into English. Probably a lot better than I've ever done putting something over to Russian. So I'm sure we all appreciate it, but there's definitely a story to be told with this one, which I really appreciate. And you can see you're going to work your way through a bunch of tasks, because we got a lot of stuff that's locked, and we don't start with a ton of money, and we start on level 1, so it's going to be one of those maps that you definitely build your way through. Some like it, some don't. I do enjoy that, and I like to do that most of the time on my maps. I'll maybe start like a level 10 or something just to give you a few tires, but I like that what the creator's done here. You can see we have a bunch of tasks that are going to be found around the map, so all the stuff we saw there before were just contracts, so there's going to be a lot of hours driving around, really enjoying the scenery and taking this map in is really the bottom line. And I mean, when we have 54 missions to complete, a lot of them staggered, it's not going to be hard to spend a little bit of time running around this place. Really, I think you should go out, download this map, at least go around for a cruise, really check it out. The creator's done a really good job, and I don't know, it's we don't have a ton of map makers out there still hanging on. I'm working on expeditions right now, but I'll be back to Snowrunner real soon, and I just hope that everyone gives this creator some support. I'd love to see some more. Long-time creator, 13 Deeds. Anyways, get out, enjoy this map, have a good time. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to y'all again real soon.